So in this problem, you have the pocket money of 50 students given to you. Okay, and you can see these numbers. These are all pocket money of these students. Okay, so one student gets 49, the other student gets 55, third student gets 22, and so on. 50th student gets 45. Question is form a frequency distribution table with class boundaries 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and so on. Okay, and you don't know till which class boundary you have to proceed. Okay, so what you do here is you observe the highest frequency. Which one is the highest frequency? Highest frequency, if you can see in this highest observation, not frequency, highest observation.
So
Oh,
54.
yes, 55 is the highest. Okay, highest observation is the second observation. If you see this one, 55. Okay, so that means if you are making your class boundaries 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, that means you will have to proceed till 60. Okay, that means your last class boundary will be 50 to 60 because the highest observation is 55. Okay, so you make your table. Just as earlier, in the last problem we made the table, we'll make a similar table. First column will be for class boundaries. The next column will be for tally marks. And the third will be for frequency. Okay. Okay, so now the class boundaries that are given to you here are 10 to 20, 20 to 30. Next you have 30 to 40, 40 to 50. And finally you have 50 to 60 because the highest observation is 55. No point going beyond 60. Okay. And this last one you do it for total. So this. Okay. And now let's see the observations. First observation that you see is 49. So 49 falls within the category of 40 to 50. So one tally you will give here. Okay. The next observation that you cannot see, but let me tell you the next observation. The next observation is 55. Okay. So 55 falls within 50 to 60 categories. So one mark here. 22 falls here. Okay. 27 again falls here. 30. Now my question to you is 30, where should I place? Should I place it in 20 to 30 or 30 to 40? Where should I place 20? Where should I place the observation 30?
So 30
in
to
30 to 40.
30 to 40.
40.
So whenever you will not place the observation 30 in this, we will not place the observation 30 in this, but we'll place the observation 30 here. Okay. Always remember, always in the next class, you will give your observation. Okay. And it is always a good practice whenever in the let's say in your question paper, if you get whenever you are giving the tally marks, always try to, with a pencil, always try to cancel out the observation that you have already marked. So I have marked these these 5 in fact. So I am crossing them out. Later you can erase it. Okay. So you can cancel them out so that you don't miss out on any observation. Okay. Or you don't make a tally mark for any observation doubly. Okay. The next observation that you see is 27. So 27 falls here. Okay. Next is 25. 25 again falls here. Next is 27. 27 again falls here. So this is complete. A set of 5 tally marks. Next is 30. 30 will fall here in the second class boundary. Next is 42. 42 will fall here. Next is 40. 40 will fall here again. Okay. Next is 13. 13 will fall here. 24. 24 you will give a tally mark here between 20 to 30. Next is 38. 38 you will give here. Next is 10. 10 you will give here. Okay. 24. 24 you will give here. 30. 30 you are going to give here. 33. 33 and you are going to make it into a group of 5. Okay. 17. 17 will fall here. 29. 29 will fall here. Okay. 10. 10 will again be here. 50. 50 will fall here. Next 18 and then 34. 18 will be here and 34 will be here. Okay. Next 15. 15 will be here. 40. 40 will give here, not above. Okay. 13. Again here. 32. Here. 36. 36 again here. And then you have 32. 32 again here. 27. 27 here. 35. 35. You group this as 5. Cross this out. Okay. 17 and then 41. So you have 17 here and then 41 here. Okay. Next 18 and then 36. So you have 18 here and then you have 36 here. Then you have 20 and 41. 20 you are going to give here and 41 you are going to give here. Then 35, 51. 35 you are going to give here. 51 you are going to give here. 29 and 27. 29 you are going to give here. 27 again here. 44, 43. 44, 43. 15 and 32. So you have 15 here and 32 here. Okay, 29 and 54. So 29 and then you have 54. And then you have 14 and 45. 14 and you have 45 here. That's all. That finishes your tally marks. Okay, now let's count the frequency. For 10 to 20, you have 5 plus 5 plus 1. So this will frequency will be 11. 20 to 30, you have 5 plus 5 plus 3, which is 13. Right? Next, you have 30 to 40, 5 plus 5 plus 3, which is again 13. Right? Next, you have 5 plus 4, 9. And then you have finally 3. Now you total this up. You will total this and you must get 50, the total number of observations, right? So this total number of observations here, 50 students is already given here. So this total should come to 50. Okay. This is what I told you. This is called N, or we also call this summation F. If I denote this by F, this is the addition of this column and is denoted by summation F. So we have made the tally marks. If I denote this by F, if I denote frequency F by F, then the total of this column is summation F. Okay, fine. So now we are going to construct the frequency distribution table. In the first category, you have pocket money. These are in the form of class boundaries. Okay, and then you have frequency F. Sometimes pocket money, this normally the first one is normally denoted by X. Okay, but you don't need to write here. But just know that it is denoted by X. So this here is we had 5. Okay, and this is for your total, and the total is 50. So you have 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and then you have 50 to 60. And then you write down the corresponding frequencies: 11, 13, 13, 9, and 4. That completes your frequency distribution table with class boundaries. This is the required frequency distribution table with class boundaries. That completes the first part of your question. Any question till this part? Any queries you have?
No, sir.
Okay,
No,
now
sir.
you have a second part to this question where it states, hence write down the class mark, that is mid values, and the cumulative frequency of each class. So you're going to make a table with 3 columns, or say 3 columns only, I think should be required. The first column will be for pocket money, class boundaries. Four columns will be required. Class boundaries. Okay. The next column will be for frequency, or let's say you can make your next column for class mark or mid values. Class mark, mid values. The next column you can make for frequency. Frequency F. The class mark is denoted by X. And you have the last column for cumulative frequency. CF. Okay. Now you're going to write down all the class boundaries. First one is 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and finally you have 50 to 60. Okay. In order to calculate the mid values, how do you calculate the mid values? Do you remember from yesterday? Take the lower class boundary 10, take the upper class boundary 20, to add them and divide it by 2. So you get 15. Similarly, here also. Okay. So we have calculated the class mark or the mid values for each class. And now you write down the frequencies. 10 to 20 frequency we calculated above was as 11. And then 13, 13, and then 9, and then 4. Okay. Cumulative frequency. How do you calculate cumulative frequency? You look at the frequency column. Okay. The first cumulative frequency will be 11, equal to what this is. Okay. Next will be, you add these two, 11 plus 13. So you get 24. The next will be addition of these three, 11 plus 13 plus 13. Or you can also say you can add these two also, 24 and 13. Okay, so this will come out to be 37. Okay, and the next one will be the addition of the first four, or you can add
46.
37 with 13 also. Sorry, 37 with 9 also. Not 37. This should be addition of 37 with 9. Okay, so this will be 11 plus 13 plus 13 plus 9, or you can simply add 37 plus 9, which will be equal to 46. And finally, you add all the frequencies, you will get 50. Okay, so this is 50. Okay, and this will be equal to n. If you see, the last cumulative frequency will always be equal to the total frequency. If it is not equal, then you have made some addition mistake. Is this absolutely clear, this table, or any question you have?
No, sir. Sir, I have to
No, sir,
ask
no
one
question.
question.
Yes.
Sir, this is a part of both are the part of the same question, sir. This.
This is a different question altogether. The question is written on top. When you are going through the recording, go through the question once again. Okay? Fine. So that completes this question. Now, this is what you are going to get in your question paper. One question will be based on these two questions. Okay? Now we start with the next part, which is called the histograms, which is nothing but the graphical representation of your frequency distribution. Okay? This is one way of representing a frequency distribution. There are many ways of representing a frequency distribution, but this is one way of representing a frequency distribution. Okay? Graphically. Okay. Now, what is a histogram? It is a graphical representation of data in which we draw rectangles to represent the class boundaries. Now remember, if in a histogram, here if you see in this question, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, these are what? Class boundaries or class intervals? Class limits. Which one? 0 to 10, 10 to 20, what are these given to you? Class limits or class boundaries?
Class boundaries.
Class boundaries are given because these are overlapping. Okay. So if class boundaries are given in case of histogram, then it is okay. But if class boundaries are not given, in place of class boundaries, if class limits are given, then you will first convert the class limits to class boundaries. Okay. So note, if instead of class boundaries, class limits are given in a histogram problem, you must first convert the class limits to class boundaries. And you know how to convert class limits to class boundary? The first problem I already showed you. And then you can proceed with drawing your histogram. Okay. Now let's see how to draw a histogram. This is something that is very easy, nothing too difficult. First of all, while drawing a histogram, you must make your axis of coordinates. Okay. So how do you make your axis of coordinates? If you see, this is your graph paper. Okay. You can see the squares, right? Are the squares visible to you? Are the squares visible to you or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So with the help of a scale, you will draw your coordinate axis first. Okay. So let's say this is your x-axis. Okay. Y-axis, in fact. Okay. And you will draw your x-axis. Fine. Arrows. This is your x, and this is your y. This is your origin. Okay. Now you see the class boundaries. Your class boundaries here are 0 to 10, 10 to 20, and so on. So this origin here is your 0. Okay. So 0 to, you can place here a 10. Okay, you have to decide the scale according to the class boundary. So if I proceed here 0 to 10 and then 10 to 20, 30, 40, 50, and then you have 60. Okay, now you see how I have written in the 10, 20, 30 in the x-axis. Now many of you, what the mistake that you make, let me tell you this, let me show you. Many of you, what you make this mistake, you should not make this mistake. What you do here is, for the first one you write 10 to 20, and then you write 20 to 30, and then you write 30 to 40. This is not acceptable. All this is wrong. Okay, what you have to do here is, for each mark, if we see class boundaries run from 0, it starts from 0 and runs till 60. So you are starting from your 0 origin here. Okay, so this is your 10 and not 10 to 20. This is your 20, 30, 40, 50, and finally you have your 60. Okay, so this is your x-axis. Okay, now see, x-axis you have plotted your class boundaries, and what is the scale of your x-axis? There are how many divisions? These are 10 divisions, right, in between. So 10 division is, in your x-axis, what do you have? You have your marks, right? You'll write your scale here. Along x-axis, one smallest division is equal to 1 unit, right? Did you understand the scale? You have 10 divisions here, right? And 10 division
Yes,
is equal
sir.
to how much? 10. So one division is 1 unit. Okay. So I've written the scale for the x-axis. Now what I do is I have to decide the scale for the y-axis. So what you do is, you have to plot the number of students here. The number of students, which one is the highest here? Number of students that you see, the highest here is 10. That means you have to start from 0 and move till 10. So let's see if I have place here. Uh, I can make this as 1, 2, 3, and then a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I have placed till 10. Okay, so I have covered the highest frequency also. Okay, and you write your scale now. Along y-axis, one smallest division is equal to one student, or one. Let me write one mark here instead of unit along the x-axis, because class boundaries are nothing but marks. So one mark, and this is equal to one student, right? Is this still the scale part is clear, or any question on the scale part?
No, sir, no question.
Now we have proceed to draw our histogram. How to draw? First of all, you see 0 to 10 is 4, right? So what you do here is, 4, frequency is 4. So you reach 4 and you draw a vertical line from 0 to 10. Okay. And then you complete this rectangle. So this is your first rectangle for 0 to 10. Now, if you see, the next rectangle will be for 10 to 20. 10 to 20, the frequency is 10, right? So from here, you start this is your 10 to 20, right? And you join this with this rectangle, and here you drop a perpendicular with the help of a scale. Clear with this?
Yes, sir.
20 to 30, frequency is 6. So 20 to 30 is here, frequency is 6. So this here, this is for 20 to 30. Next is 30 to 40. 30 to 40, what is the frequency? 8. So 30 to 40 will be here. You finish your rectangle here, complete this rectangle for 30 to 40. Okay, next 40 to 50 is 5. Again from here, right? This is the rectangle for 40 to 50. And finally, you have 50 to 60 as 9. You draw a line from 50 to 60 and you join this rectangle. That completes your histogram. Is this histogram clear, or any question you have on histogram?
No, sir.
No question?
Sir, clear.
Okay. So histograms is clear. Now go through this problem. Okay. I wouldn't like to proceed any further with this. I'll stop here.